Good morning, everyone. My name is Lohia KJR. I am working as an assistant professor of English at Government First Grade College, Sunkalbidri. So, today in the second online session, we are going to discuss about what is a myth and its influence on Chandrashekar Kambar. So, now let me share the slides. Okay. Myth or mythology. What is a myth or mythology? ಸೊ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಿತ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ಪುರಾಣ ಅಥವಾ ಪೌರಾಣಿಕ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಕಥೆಗಳು. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮಿತ್? ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್. A myth is a traditional story, especially one concerning the early history of a people or explaining some natural or social phenomena, and typically involving supernatural beings or events. So, this is the definition of a myth. So, let me put it in a very simple way. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮಿತ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಿಂಬಾಲಿಕ್ ಇನ್ ನೇಚರ್. A traditional story that has come from generations which is symbolic in nature, and these are the stories about gods, demigods, or deities, and also they tell us about certain religious practices which are there in a particular culture or in a particular society, and they are traditional stories. And see here, for example, the story of Ramayana, or it may be the story of Mahabharata. See, these are the popular Hindu mythological stories in India, especially in Hindu religion. So, what are the characteristics of a myth? ಒಂದು ಮಿತ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರ ಗುಣಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳು ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, the first important striking feature of myth is it combines both factual events as well as supernatural elements in a story. For example, the story of Arjuna in Mahabharata. So Arjuna is a great warrior in Hindu mythology, and from his single arrow he can kill thousands of people. That is the supernatural power of Arjuna. If you have seen Mahabharata serial, you can see both the mixture of natural elements as well as supernatural elements. That is one of the striking feature of a myth. And one more important striking feature of a myth is it is always related to religious belief of a particular culture or a particular religion or society. See, they are always associated with religion. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಪೌರಾಣಿಕ ಕಥೆಗಳು ಧಾರ್ಮಿಕ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರ್ತವೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಫ್ ಮಹಾಭಾರತ, ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಫ್ ರಾಮಾಯಣ, ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಫ್ Bible. See, All these mythological stories are associated with religious beliefs. And see here, let me go to the next slide, meaning and examples. Please don't think that these type of stories are only in India. ಬರೀ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಷ್ಟೇ ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಪೌರಾಣಿಕ ಕಥೆಗಳಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. See, if you go to West, there are so many mythological stories. The story of King Zeus, a great warrior who brought thunder to the earth, Greek hero. It may be the story of Hercules, a great warrior who has superhuman strength and abilities. Or it may be the story of Moses, who led the entire Israelite groups, entire Israelite group, and they crossed the Red Sea. That comes in Bible. So there are so many mythological stories all over the world. And even in India also you can see so many mythological stories. The popular mythological stories in India are Ramayana and Mahabharata. And even there are 18 important Puranas in Hindu religion. 18 ಪುರಾಣಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದೂ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ there are 18 Puranas, and important among them are Shiva Purana, Garuda Purana, Skanda Purana. So these are the mythological stories where we can read the story of a god, demigod, or deities. I think you have a confusion between god and demigod. God ಅಂದರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ದೇವರು. ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ಡೆಮಿಗಾಡ್ಸ್? ಸಿ, ಡೆಮಿಗಾಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ದೈವಾಂಶ ಸಂಭೂತರು, ದೇವಮಾನವರು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಡೆಮಿಗಾಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರು. For example, it may be even Arjuna also. Arjuna is a demigod. He has certain godly powers in him. And deities. Deities ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ದೇವತೆಗಳು, ಈ ನೇಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಥಾಪಿತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ದೇವತೆಗಳು. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸ್ಥಳ ಪುರಾಣ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೆಟಗರಿ. ಮೈಥಾಲಜಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕೆಟಗರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆರ್ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ರೈಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಓವರ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ who have been influenced by these mythological stories. It may be William Shakespeare, or it may be the father of psychology, Sigmund Freud, and even our Chandrashekar Kambar has also, he has been greatly influenced by these mythological stories. So now we are going to discuss the influence of mythological stories on Chandrashekar Kambar's Sirisampige. So now I think you understood the meaning of mythology and its characters. So coming to the third slide. So the influence of these mythological stories on Chandrashekar Kambar. Why we have to discuss this particular point antandre, you have a play called Sirisampige in your third semester basic English syllabus, which is written by Chandrashekar Kambar. And that particular play has supernatural elements in that story. So in that story there are so many supernatural elements that have been incorporated in that story by Chandrashekar Kambar. So in order to discuss those influences, I can give you two examples that are directly or indirectly related to Sirisampige. One, that is the example of Narcissus, who is a great Greek hunter, a very beautiful and very attractive man. But see, what is the problem of Narcissus? See, he rejects all the love offers, and when he sees his own image in the water, he falls in love with his own self. See, that is the story of Narcissus. He is a very beautiful man. ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ. When he sees his own image in the water, he falls in love with himself. So that story may have influenced Chandrashekar Kambar's Sirisampige. And the second one is our own native mythological story that has been made into film by T. Nagavarna. It is a very famous film, Nagamandala. ನಾಗಮಂಡಲ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫಿಲಮನ್ನು ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅ ಮೈಥಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ವೇರ್ a snake transforms itself into a human being. ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಪ, ಒಂದು ನಾಗಹಾವು ತನ್ನನ್ನು ತಾನು ಮಾನವನಾಗಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮೈಥಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ವಿಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ Chandrashekar Kambar's Sirisampige. So here we can easily, I mean, another important feature of Kambar's writing is he brings together so many art forms like mythology, Yakshagana, play, Janapada. So all these forms are mixed together in order to produce a writing. Especially this is the important feature of Chandrashekar Kambar's writing. Even in Sirisampige also, there is a mixture of mythology, Yakshagana art form, as well as the form of play. All these are mixed together in order to create a wonderful play called Sirisampige. And as I have already told you, these mythological stories, they are the part and parcel of each and every society all over the world. Don't think that they only exist in India. ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಪೌರಾಣಿಕ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಥೆಗಳು ಬರೀ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. These type of stories are there in each and every part of the world. Even in Bible, you can see so many mythological stories. For example, the story of Moses, as I have already told you. It may be the story of Adam and Eve. See, Adam and Eve na kate barutte Bible alli. Adu kuda it is a mythological story. And even ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ there is a very famous action movie in English called 300. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. See, in that movie, a group of 300 soldiers led by King Leonidas, they fight against the great army of Persia led by their king Xerxes. So this is the story of that film. These 300 soldiers, they tried to control the entire huge Persian army with their strength. And this is a very simple story, and this is a great mythological story, a very famous mythological story in Greece. And even there is a story of King Oedipus is a very famous king in, a mythological character that is in Greece. So here, King Oedipus, he kills his own father and marries his own mother. This particular myth is used by Sigmund Freud, who is believed to, who is considered as the father of psychology. He creates a concept called Oedipus complex. So, these mythological stories have influenced so many writers all over the world. So, why we are discussing all these things means Siri Sampige is also influenced by one such mythological story that is written by Chandrashekar Kambar. So, in our next class, in our next coming classes, we are going to discuss about it. So, now I think you got an idea about what is a myth or mythology. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನರೇಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಥೆಗಳು ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಥೆಗಳು those stories are related to our gods, demigods, deities, and these stories we can see the mixture of both natural or factual elements as well as supernatural elements. ನೈಜವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಘಟನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತವೆ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ದೈವಾಂಶ ಸಂಭೂತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲವು ಘಟನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೋತ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಈಸ್ they are always associated with religious beliefs. So these are few important things about myth. So by this, I'm going to end my second online session about what is a myth and its influence on Chandrashekar Kambar. So once again, I thank you all for listening to my second online session.